Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids, and in today's video we are going to be doing just a few shard pulls here for the summon rush for yes, the bonus summon rush as part of the Kassandra fusion. And these are the last 50 fragments I need. I did everything except the other two summon events, so I've tried to save as many shards as possible. Now, of course, the concern was there could be a Titan event that could be part of this bonus summon rush, or like the last few events of the fusion. They've done it before. They did it with Thor, someone else as well. Can't remember now, but there is a Titan event, but it doesn't start till tomorrow, so it comes after this. Yeah, in these situations, I always get tempted to just keep going, man. Especially with like the 15x events, like if you get it's the bait, right? The bait catches me. Your chance it goes up maybe from 15x to 20x. You're like, oh, it's better now. I should keep pulling. And I think that's a little bit of a trap, to be honest. I do think that this can be okay. Now, the rewards here aren't too crazy. But you're over halfway there. It's sometimes not the worst choice in the world to finish off a summon rush, especially after you've invested so much into it. You can actually get some really good rewards. So like if there was double mythical skill tome down here, it might be something that's worth considering. Or you might sometimes find that in a hero's path as well, that you go, oh, I've done the parts of the hero's path I want to do. I actually still have loads of shards left, and there's a couple of mythical tomes that aren't actually that far away. Oh, they're actually really hard to get. This might be worth it. In this case, I think probably not. I think we stop. And the reason is simple, is I want to have my shards stockpiled and ready to go for when they bring in this Titan event. Oh, what's that? What is that? That's something new. Platform gift. A special gift on us. I'm playing on PC. I don't know. Great. Cool. Check it out, I suppose, if you're on PC. Let me know if you know anything about that. It's just a small thing, but there it is. But yeah, because we have this Titan event coming up, I talked about it yesterday as well. This Titan event is almost definitely going to include 3 summoning events. Skip 1, you still have to do 2, and then there'll be another fusion right after. And then, of course, there's likely to be, I think, a hero's path for Bayek. Probably after the next fusion. I think we'll have a hero's path for Bayek. Probably after that. Most likely, which will probably include him and his soul and be crazy expensive. And yeah, basically there's a lot of stuff that's coming in the future for which I would probably want to have some souls, to be honest. Not to sell some shards. So I think we play it a bit more cautious and stop. There's a lot of good champions here up for grabs. I have Sifi already. Choose and Fighty, both really good. I mean, I might even go for the Fighty, to be honest. But it's a tough call. But I'm going to go, I think, for the Primal Shards instead. I have Fabian. He would be the #1 pick. I talked about this in my video yesterday. I actually have Kaimar and Amok already, though I wouldn't be massively pulling for them compared to Fabian. But for me, I'm going to go with the Duchess Lilitu. Just because I've never got her. You know, she's still somewhat relevant as well. She's held on a little bit, longer than I expected, to be honest. She's obviously not top tier anymore, but my concern is I probably will get her in like 5 years from now when she's totally forgotten about. But it would be just nice to have Duchess Lilitu. She certainly pairs up very well with Volcanos. She would make... I find it very difficult to farm Faction Wars stage 21 with Demon Spawn. She would make it obviously massively easier. And yeah, it's just such an iconic champion. I mean, for a long time, around when I started the game, it would have been fair to... you can make a fair argument she was the best champion in the game for a while. Like that's when I started content creation around Hydra, especially when she was like the Hydra support. I think an insane in Arena and just insane in general. Stone Skin came out as well for Go Second. I think you could certainly have made that argument that Duchess was probably the best, certainly the best non-void in the game. I don't think she has the title for best legendary, even best non-void anymore at all. But hey, she's still good. Let's go. Let's see. Can I finally get Duchess Lilitu? Not on the first shard, that's for sure. So we need a decent chunk of shards here. So if we need 6,000 points, I think we need 12 sacred shards. So we should still have 10 in the bank after this. Maybe still 11 in the bank. We might need one less. Oh, Hilda, Arnon daughter. The daughter of Arnorn. Pretty cool. She's not a bad epic, right? She's giving you 15% more damage to targets under heal reduction. She does bring heal reduction. Lovely budget option for the Mimic in Grim Forest. And this does big single target damage. She has an AoE as well with a self buff, a chance to stun. It is a 4-turn cooldown. That's her big weakness. And it's not a 100% chance to stun, but it's still a good move. She's a good champion. Triple hit A1. I think she's one of the most recent epics. And I think like it shows you sort of the quality increase in champions over time. Like, she is really nice, right? Triple hit A1, lovely. Can steal buffs, ignores defense. The heal reduction actually good now, but it hits really hard. Just lots of utility in her kit. One of the better epics in the game. Still an epic, but still one of the better ones. Guiren, pretty bad. She is the AoE decreased defense champ for Shadowkin, but it's only an 80% chance. Why? Why is it? But they're never going to buff. They just never. She's got good apart from that, like single target weaken, some poisons. If this was 100%, it'd be great. But I mean, even make it 95% so you can use sniper to get it to 100. Like, come on, dude. Come on. But they just don't want to buff epics. They don't want to go back and buff them. I guess they say, you know, they want to focus more on legendaries, which is more exciting for newer players, and that long-term players realistically probably aren't going to use the epics anyway. I mean, to be fair, us long-term players, we don't even use half the legendaries they buff anyway. So, yeah. This guy is really bad. He's absolutely terrible. He looks really cool. He's absolutely terrible. He does get used for a couple of Cursed City stages where there's just no other options. Where it's like epic Shadowkin HB champions. You're like, ugh. Juragen ends up being one of the only options. So I think I have actually used him for that, but he's not good. Now, Duck is actually good. AoE decreased attack, can be decreased defense if he crits. He is, compared to Stag Knight, he's a 3-turn cooldown, decreased attack, decreased defense. He does need to crit, so he does struggle a bit. In terms of like, yeah, it makes it a little bit more awkward. He needs crit rate gloves. He's going to be a bit squishier, but he can do some okay damage. Decreased accuracy A1 is nice. Not as good as the decreased speed for Stag Knight, but he's got a bit of provoking. He's a really solid champion. There's a pretty good chance you'll use this guy a good bit for things like Faction Wars and Doom Tower, Cursed City, etc. Harshan, increased defense, turn meter boost. I think he doesn't have great speed, so it's actually not really that useful. AoE weaken, A1 with a bad chance to provoke, strengthen when his HP drops low. Yeah, I think he's like one of those mid epics that honestly, I think these days you probably would just never use. I think it's fairly unlikely. God, we're not getting a legendary. Oh, Rowella now is excellent. Decreased defense, weaken, and decreased speed. Each hit goes up to a 70% chance. With Sniper, you make it 75. Pre-75% chances is actually, because there's always a 3% chance to resist, even like the 100% chance for debuffs, pre-75% chances is really kind of better. It's really better than 100% chance. Now, the only downside for this move, it is a 4-turn cooldown, but it's really strong single target debuffs. Triple hit A1, good for Fire Knight stuff, and a bit of turn meter boost, increased crit rate. Again, she's only an epic, but she is a good one. Where are we at in terms of this? I wouldn't have minded pulling Void Shards either, but I figure that we just had a Sacred 2x. So I think the Sacred Shards are less likely to be useful in the upcoming events and fusions. I think they're more likely to push Void Shards. Not certain, but more likely. And yeah, I also think because it's the 15x event, obviously we haven't pulled a legendary, but if we were to pull like a couple of legendaries, get that lucky, you'd prefer to have it all be on the same shard type to stack up the 15x bonus to an x20 for the minuscule difference it makes. Sanguinia's okay. Removes all debuffs from all allies, puts all debuffs from her to the target. Kind of cool. 4-turn cooldown. Block debuffs for 1 turn. Continuous heal for 2. Triple hit A1. Like, she's okay. I'm colorblind, so I don't know if it looks weird to you, but I feel like the color of red on her armor and the color of red on her fabric just looks a bit weird. It just looks really bad to me. I don't know if that's for everyone, but to me it looks terrible. Yeah, like, again, I think she's okay. She's one of those like mid epics. Do you ever end up building them? Do you ever end up using them? If you said, yeah, I found a bit of use for Sanguinia, you might say, oh yeah, okay, I can see it. But you could equally say, oh yeah, no, I just have better champs. I never ever needed this champion even once. And you go, yeah, okay, that makes sense as well. So I feel like that's where she falls as an epic. Like one turn of block debuffs, I just don't like it. Just not good. Delaja's all right though. Delaja, continuous heal. It's only for one turn, but that's a fine buff to have for one turn. That's okay. But shield equal to her HP. She has a A1, can put some poisons. Low chance, but it's all right. And an AoE decreased attack. And then the fun thing about her, she counterattacks when lizard men are hit. That's pretty good. 50-50 to counterattack and nice aura for faction crypts. Again, she's only an epic. She's only okay, but she's a solid budget option for faction wars. I believe she's also part of the Mikage fusion. And I'm really not keeping track of all this stuff, so we're going to keep checking back. Oh, I still need a bit, so I still need like 1, 2... Yeah, we need 3 more shards. So yeah, we are going to end up... Yeah, as I said at the start, I should have paid attention. We are going to end up at 10 shards remaining, which is a reasonable place to be. Can we get a legendary out of these, is the question. Warden, absolutely terrible. Like, he scales off attack and defense? Bro, what even is that? What even is that? Reflect damage. It is on a 3-turn cooldown. At least there's that. He's got the small version of decreased attack, the small version of increased defense. I mean, one thing that Godforge is gonna be doing, or is doing, which is interesting, is they have 3 levels of buffs. And no, I don't know for all of them, but for many of the buffs and debuffs, they have 3 different tiers, whereas Raid only has the 2. I feel like Raid's in sort of a funny spot where the small versions of the debuffs and buffs are like super irrelevant these days. Like there's just not really much point for most of them. There's not much point at all. Now a few of them, Ensnare and Seal, like yeah, sure the smaller versions have a point, but a lot of them are just bad, right? They shouldn't even be on these champions anymore, not even epics anymore, really. And then there's some buffs which could do with a bigger version. So I think like Poison is a classic example. Like I think Poison could really do with another tier of the debuff, as opposed to relying on Arachne Elixir and Lethal Dose to do all the heavy lifting. Like Poison is in such a weird spot balance-wise. Kind of a mess, I think. But yeah, there we are. All right, we got Pan the Bowhorn. This guy's actually pretty good. Speed in dungeons, fine, but he has a triple hit. There's a 4-turn cooldown, but it does hit hard. So he's got a big single target nuke, which is cool. But then he has an AoE with increased attack and increased speed. His damage, does it scale off of speed? He does something. He ignores resistance of his speed, okay. Ignores resistance. So, okay. He doesn't, his damage doesn't scale off speed, but he's a champion you can build with decent speed. Self buffs. People have found him quite good for Cursed City and stuff like that. I've used him a little bit in Cursed City. He is, again, relatively modern, so he's got like decent damage multipliers. He's nothing spectacular, but he's really not too bad. And then the final Sacred. Can we get a legendary today? No, not even one. Ugh. Well, I guess we're striding strongly into Mercy. We are prepared for a hero's path or whatever. And again, hopefully there won't be a 2x Sacreds for a good while, so we'll hopefully be able to hit Mercy during a 15x or 10x event, or again the minor benefit that gives you from these shards. The 15x events, etc., are so much better for Void shards, and they're really, again, it's one of those things, it used to be just 10x events, then Plarium added in the 15x, 20x, 25x, and now a year or two later it's really at the point where it should really start minimum at an X20, let's be honest. But yeah, Gorlo's actually really good, by the way. He's solid. AoE decreased defense, 100% chance, 3-turn cooldown, lovely. Single target nuke, burn, decreased accuracy. A1 gives him some turn meter. Is he amazing? No. Is he useful? Yeah, he's good. AoE decreased defense is quite helpful. So again, there's several Cursed City stages. Faction War, certainly lots of places where you might want the AoE decreased defense, and he can be a good accessible option. Does decent damage. He is squishy as all hell, though. But yeah, there we go. No Duchess for me. I think Duchess will have to be so far out of the meta. Oh, cool. Claim all. It's the first time using that. So far out of the meta as to be irrelevant. And let's just do one Void Shard for good luck. Here we go. This is the legendary, the Fighty Teal Crest. Wow, Fighty, you're looking... If you've put on some white, buddy. What's happened here? All right, now That's not. Wait, is it 120 shards for that? 120 points? Maybe it is. Oh, yeah. Well, we can finish this really fast. Like so. And Kassandra. So what I'm actually going to do with Kassandra, one final tip. I think there's still a few days left on her fusion. So I'm going to wait probably until tomorrow to fuse her, I think. Like, let me just take a double check this. But yeah. Let's see. So Odyssey Titan event. So her fusion, we could summon in this guy. We still have 3 days, 14 hours. So if they did a champion chase this weekend, possible that they would. If they do, should be able to fuse her up for it. Just really, again, if you are going to try this, really do make sure you don't let this timer expire. Same with any of these fusions. Now, funny enough, I said I was giving out about Plarium not helping you in a previous video. I actually got messaged by a community manager saying, actually, it's not true. If you have all of the fusion epics ready to go for the fusion, but you've just missed it, if you contact support, that Plarium will actually help you. So yeah, it's the first time I've heard of it. But there you go. I mean, let me know. Have you ever contacted support where basically you have everything done? You actually have, like for me, I wonder if they would help me, right? If I have Galapo ready to go, but I'm also saving him for a champion chase and I could so I could like summon him, power level him in the tavern in about 3 minutes, last 2 minutes, and have him ready to go for the fusion. If I miss this fusion by like whatever, 5 minutes, you know, would they help me out with that? I don't know. Plarium, at least the community manager, seems to be saying yes. So we'll see. But again, let me know your experiences. But best play it safe, of course, and not have to rely on support. You know, you could always get someone in support who's having a really bad day and decides, I hate you, and everyone. Who knows? But yeah, try to pay attention to the timer. If they do a champion chase, it could overlap. Again, I'd expect we hear news on the summoning event tomorrow, which is still in plenty of time. And if it's not a champion chase, you know, just fuse her up and summon her. If you're leveling up the final epics for the fusion, it's a few points towards champion training. We just finished it. I actually maxed this one out for that basalt because I'm lazy and I missed some in Chimera. So, well, partially I'm lazy and partially I don't have the champions as well to do it, certainly to do it easily, and often not able to do it at all. But yeah, there we go. That's the summons. That's all that. Again, watch that timer for Kassandra. I'm going to hold for now, just in case there's a champion chase this weekend. Because like if they came in and they're like, it's a 2x ancient champion chase, I'd be like, okay, I could do that actually really. Like I've got a couple of remnant summons. I can get the free pull from the summon pool. I've got an epic here. I could fuse Kassandra. Like if they drop a champ chase this weekend, that's if it's 2x ancients especially, which is I've got loads of those, right? I could really easily get that done and then be prepared to skip a harder event later in the Titan event. That being said, of course, I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to go to this, but you know, I don't need to make these decisions yet, right? I can wait for tomorrow and see what's actually going to happen. Yeah, that's my thoughts, my tips on that. So unfortunately, it does mean these quests because I could do these almost instantly, and I could actually get my lovely. Well, I could get this stuff here, but most importantly, I could fuse my mythical relic chance. That would be nice. We'll get to that maybe next time, guys. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. Not a sniff of a legendary, but we'll get Kassandra. That's fine, I suppose. We opened a shard for the Ezio chase. Brand. Yeah, no new legendary. Duchess continues to elude. Yes, this part of the index will remain forever empty. Truly tragic. Yeah, no Duchess. No, I just can't get Perfect Veil. I mean, they've had to bring out Bayek. I'm presuming there's a guaranteed event for Bayek, which I'm guessing there will be. It's not guaranteed, but I'm guessing there will be. Bayek will be the first good Perfect Veil champion I get. Let me just show it to you. Been playing this game forever. Hydra, one of the contents that needed Perfect Veil to see success in, Hydra has existed for as long as this YouTube channel has existed. I think it's about 4 years now. And I've never got a Perfect Veil champion who's good. So yeah, well, obviously he provides it for himself, and so does he. So they're good. We've got a few self-perfect Veilers in here these days, but in terms of people who can provide it for the team, in terms of legendaries, I have Tatura Rhymehide, who was a Christmas fusion. Actually, I think probably 4 or 5. I think it was probably 4 years ago. I think it was actually back then as well when Hydra came out and when I started. I think it was that year. So whatever, 2021. I think is probably when I started. I think it was Christmas Fusion 2021. And I have never pulled a Team Perfect Veil champion, legendary or mythical or otherwise, since then. I used Rector Drath in my Hydra teams until very recently when I went building a normal Hydra team is just pointless. Just build Trunda, build Titus, whatever, slap 6 other stupidly OP champions. No, not OP on their level, of course, but my 6 other best champions in the final team, and they'll just like kill everything before they get feared anyway. Yeah, but I used Rector Drath until quite recently. So, no Duchess for me. Okay. But I mean, who needs Perfect Veil champions, right? Like, you know, if to be honest, if you're getting a Perfect Veil champ for Hydra 4 years after it releases, that's a good timeline in terms of gameplay, right? Like with Chimera, I don't know, whatever. Like give people ways to do the trials 4 or 5 years from now. Fun. All right, I'll see you next time, everyone. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.